Greetings and welcome to the video. My name is Gajira. I am the Silver Dragon Gamer. So today in our series of how strong can we get Link without doing dungeons or glitches, we have Wind Waker. This was a good entry into the Legend of Zelda series. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of the cell shading art style, and I felt that the sailing mechanic could have used a little more work. Maybe it needed a fast travel or something, but it was just kind of lacking. But overall, I feel that this is a solid entry into the series. So, without much further ado, let's jump into this. The first item we're going to acquire are the Ancient Hero's Clothes. This is the traditional green outfit that Link wears in most of the games, and in this version of the game, Link has a sister named Aryll who's looking for him. Now she's going to find him asleep in this tower, wake him up, and give him a reminder that, hey, it's your birthday. She's also going to let him know that their grandmother has a birthday surprise waiting for him, and that he should go see what she has. Link is going to take off and head down the ladder to the house that the camera zoomed to earlier. Along the way, there's a quick little jumping puzzle to grab 15 rupees. One thing of note about this scene is that the shirt Link is wearing is very similar to one that can be acquired in Breath of the Wild. Once we go into our house, we'll go talk to our grandmother, and she gives us our fancy new hero's clothes. This allows us to actually have the costume and the look of what Link normally does in most of the other games. She'll also give us a little short speech about the shield on the wall, tells us it's a perfect fit, and that we should go out and enjoy our birthday. The next item we're going to acquire is the telescope. We get this by going back outside, across the bridge, and up that tower again to talk to our sister Aryll, who's going to present us with her birthday present. As we walk up and talk to her, she's going to make a comment about Grandma's clothes, and that it seems like the outfit would be hot, but it looks okay. She'll then ask us to close our eyes, and she'll hand us her most prized possession, the telescope. And obviously it's used to look at faraway items. She will then suggest that we use the telescope to look around the island a little bit. Once we equip it and use it, we can look at various places throughout the island. If we zoom in on the mailbox and the postal bird, we'll see him freak out and say we need to look up, and when we do, we'll see a giant bird carrying a girl in its talons. Suddenly a ship will fire at the bird and it'll drop her onto the top of the island in the forest. Aryll will suggest that it's dangerous to go up to the forest without something to defend ourselves. This means it's time to make a trip to go see the Swordmaster Orca in the first house here. Going inside and talking to him is going to initiate what is essentially the sword tutorial for this particular game. Orca is going to teach us how to do a horizontal slash, a vertical slash, the stab thrust, how to do jump attacks, how to do spin attacks, and then once we've completed all of these by attacking him multiple times, he'll feel that we are ready and he will present us with the hero's sword. Having passed the tutorial and now possessing a weapon that we can use to defend ourselves with, we can go into the forest at the top of the island and try to rescue the girl that was dropped by the giant bird. Orca is going to bow us out, and we're going to head off on our way. Outside, we're going to farm up just a little bit of rupees. We're going to cut down these trees for a 10 pack of rupees, and then we're going to grab some more from the grass here. We're going to sidle out and break this pot for another couple of rupees, and then we're going to head back into the town area. Specifically, we're going to go to the beach because we need to purchase something from Beetle. We're going to acquire the bait bag, the all-purpose bait, and the Hioi pear. Now you may notice here I don't quite have enough money for all this, but through the magic of editing I do. So we're going to purchase our bait bag, which allows us to store up to 8 pieces of bait with the all-purpose bait and the Hioi pears. The all-purpose bait is used on pigs, rats, and fishman. For pigs, it has them dig in the ground and unearth items for Link. For rats, it can lure certain ones out of their rat hole and they'll sell you consumable items like arrows and such. If you give it to a fishman, he'll fill in parts of the sea chart and give you info on various islands. Now the Hioi pear, on the other hand, is used to attract and take control of seagulls you can use to collect items or trip switches. Now we're heading off into the forest because it's time to go rescue the girl that we saw. So we head up the mountainside, chopping down trees, wandering through bushes, and head across this rickety looking bridge, jump the gap, and head into the forest proper. Once inside, we're greeted with a little cutscene of her hanging from the tree branch. We can go up here and around where we're greeted with our first monster, a moblin. We kick his little butt and head up and over to this next open area, and we're greeted with 2 more moblins where we have a fight with them, and once we beat them into the ground and they disappear into purple smoke, her branch breaks and she is dropped down to the ground. And while Link and the Pirate Girl are getting to know each other and going over some story things, if you could do me a huge favor and just like, subscribe, comment, and share the video out, it really helps out the channel and helps out the video as well. Thanks again in advance. Now, back to our video. As we leave the forest, Link's sister is grabbed by the giant bird from before. Link begs the pirate Captain Tetra to let him go with her, but she is reluctant because they are pirates and Link is just a kid. However, the post bird comes by and convinces her to take him, but she will only relent on the condition that Link has to find a shield because the giant bird is from the Forsaken Fortress and that's a very dangerous place. So, that becomes our next item that we have to go get is the hero's shield. At this point, we need to head back to Link's house because in the upstairs of the house, there's a shield on the wall. However, once we get there and get upstairs, we realize that the shield is missing. Once we jump back downstairs, we notice Granny standing there with her back to us, clutching something. She turns around, holding the hero's shield, and presents it to us so that we can go out and rescue her sweet little granddaughter. Now that we have the hero's shield, we can technically leave the island and go straight to the Forsaken Fortress. However, there is a quick quest that needs to be completed before we do, so that we can set up for a heart piece later in the game. We need to go out and do some pig catching. The first pig we need to catch is here by the beach, and to catch him, we have to crawl up to them, stand up, and pick them up. We run all the way to the pen and throw him in. The second pig is on the road here to the pen, so we crawl up, grab him, and throw him in as well. Each pig that we throw in, we're rewarded by the lady with 20 rupees. The third pig, however, is on the other small island. He's up here by the hut. So we crawl up to him, stand up, grab him after he gets away from us a little bit, and run him all the way back to the lady running the pig pen and throw him in. She'll reward us with another 20 rupees. Now we're set up for that heart piece later in the game. But there's a lot more rupees to be gathered on this island, so let's go. Underneath Link's house, there's this orange one worth 100. Then we're going to crawl back out from under the house and head back across the little bridge to the island where we had the pig earlier. We're going to crawl under the porch and grab a single rupee, head into the house, crawl under the bed, and open the chest for a 20 pack. Now, there are a couple of other 5 packs around, but they're really not worth grabbing. Once that's done, we're heading back out to sea for the Forsaken Fortress. The pirate captain's then going to complain at Link and say he can leave if he wants, and then she's going to send him downstairs to Nico to get the spoils bag. We're going to head inside the ship and downstairs, and then we're going to talk to Nico. He's going to give us a quick tutorial on some more movement tech for this game. He's going to show us how to step on a switch, which activates the platforms temporarily, show us how to jump onto the platforms, and then show us how to swing on these ropes. The rope swing is actually a very important mechanic in this game. It's used in a lot of different areas, especially in the Forsaken Fortress that we're coming up to. And now it's our turn to run the maze, so we're going to jump the platforms, swing on the lantern ropes, and make it all the way to Nico, who's going to be absolutely amazed that we made it through so quickly because it took him a year to be able to master this. Now he's going to let us through to the treasure chest, where we're going to go in and open it and receive our spoils bag. This bag is going to be used to store various trinkets dropped by enemies. The trinkets are used for different things later on in the game. At this point, the captain's going to call us back up to the deck. So we run through the maze backwards, run upstairs, and back onto deck to be greeted by the captain, who calls us up to the crow's nest. The captain's then going to point out that we've arrived at the Forsaken Fortress and show us some of the defenses. Then she's going to show us the top secret way that she's going to get us into the fortress by stuffing us in a barrel and launching us with a catapult at the fortress wall. Link slams into the wall and falls into the water, and then heads to go into the fortress, where he's stopped for a moment because he hears a voice. Turns out that the captain slipped his pirate's charm into his pocket when he wasn't looking. And now she can see and hear everything he does, and he can communicate with her whenever she needs to. And with that, that's the end of Wind Waker. As we see, we have the telescope, the spoils bag, the bait bag. We also have the hero's shield, the hero's sword, which is lost in the fortress currently, and the pirate charm. That's all the items that we can acquire at this point in the game. Once more, I'd like to thank you all for watching my videos. If you could please do me one last favor and like, subscribe, comment, and share the video. It really does help out the channel and costs you nothing but a little bit of time. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next one.